我喜欢这边，我要住这边，这是我的家。
You mind just briefly introducing yourself?
My name is Janet, here in Dulan for almost 7 years.
I'm Helena, I'm from Germany. I live in Japan.
I'm from France originally and Dulan for 11 years.
我来自越南，来这里22年了。
My name is Mark. I lived in Taiwan nearly 20 years.
I'm from Hungary.
I'm from the Netherlands.
I'm from the Netherlands too.
I'm also 2 weeks in Taiwan.
I'm Nigel. I live in Dulan for 7 years from Curacao.
From France, in Dulan, 7 years.
My name's Scott. I'm originally from California.
My name is Pavel. In Taiwan for 2.5 months.
What originally brought you out to this beautiful part of Taiwan?
Traveling, and I met my wife. She was working in a hostel.
My dad has a history with Taiwan. My dad was in the nuclear industry, and Taiwanese people from the nuclear industry were coming to South Africa and visiting us, even coming to our house. Then in my final year of uni, this Canadian exchange student, and he's like, bro, hey, you gotta go to Taiwan. It's like best part in the world, eh? When things went sour with my fiance, it just seemed like the natural thing for me to do was leave and come here to Taiwan.
Came here with my wife. We were living in Korea. Came on a visa run to Taiwan. We liked it so much that when it came time for us to go back to Korea, we canceled our plane ticket and stayed. We opened up a pop-up taco shop, ran that for about 10 or 11 months. So that was like 8 years ago. Now I find myself single and on the road again and looking for a place to settle down.
I was in Okinawa. I met somebody from Taiwan. She said, yeah, and in Taiwan they speak more English. I looked for surfing and something to do, cooking for sure. And then I came here, and I think in the first 2 weeks I knew this was my place. And after 1 month I made a proposition to the landlord. Now I took the business over. 7 years. I have a kid, a wife, 5 dogs, bought a small property. My roots are going.
Flew from Tokyo to Taipei. Someone recommended this hostel. Basically, Dulan is the perfect mixture out of a small nature town with a convenience store and with people who you can meet, but you can also just like disappear into nature.
We just
Really?
came from Yuli. We met there, all 3 of us then. We just traveled down to this spot.
When we arrive in this area, I have a good feeling. First, my wife, they say, Dulan, it's no business. What are you gonna do? I opened a restaurant, mostly French food. Next door is an art gallery. Third one was an antique shop. And then he works against the odds.
So when I was still in the Philippines, I was doing a part-time home-based job teaching English to Taiwanese, and he was my student. My husband brought me here to Taitung, and we passed by Dulan, and I'm like, oh my god, this place is so beautiful. When we had that opportunity to have a restaurant in Dulan, like pizza restaurant, we're like, let's go.
这么认识你的老公呢，然后一起来这边。
他去国外娶老婆，我就嫁给他。
Dulan has this reputation that a lot of foreigners live here. Do you think there's a reason that this place attracts so many people from abroad?
You have Kenting, but it's more man-made, and here is more rough because of the strong Amis culture. You don't have that where we come from. So the Netherlands is lowlands, really flat. Having mountains and ocean so close to each other is still very spectacular to me.
After surfing, after a beach activity, they come to our restaurant. So other Taiwanese, when they see that, they ask me, why there's a lot of foreigners here in Dulan? It's so beautiful here, and there's so many things to do.
This reminds me a lot of home, like a safe version of what my home could have been if it wasn't such a dangerous country to live in. Mountains over there to the west, sea to the east. South Point over there, it's where we go diving and spearing. It's where we go surf, foiling and windsurfing, sup surfing. How fucking long. When that thing gets big, that wave just runs the whole point. Beautiful spot. So lucky to be here, man.
So the first evening I arrived here, I arrived pretty late, and I immediately ran to the beach. Saw like the silhouette of the mountains. It's so pretty. It had like emotional overflow for half an hour and just ended up crying. We also went back 2 nights ago and went skinny dipping. There's like a lot of fluorescent plankton. It's like shooting stars, and then you make the water glow. And the food is amazing. Mainly I just had stinky tofu all the time. It's so good.
The local people are friendly. They tolerate all the foreigners coming through and the hippies and the backpackers and the surfers. My wife, she just liked it here. I think she was just happy talking to like the local people, the kids. It's just relaxing.
It's a really nice place to chill. Like I spend on this bed maybe 10 hours on the day, and it's like special vibe. It is really cool. Like it's true Taiwan, but different.
We're not gonna buy a Mercedes-Benz tomorrow, but is it really the plan if you come to Dulan. We're very happy with our little dog. Ah bah voilà, ma petit pagnon. Oh, la petit pagnon baby. We like to go swimming. It's nice and quiet. Quality life, slow life. You have some friends stopping by, have a cup of coffee or something. See my profile, I like to eat also.
I think it makes sense. You have beautiful nature, you have beach, you have surf, you have good food, and it's still like local in a way.
I like it because it feels vibrant than the usual which I experience.
Waterfall, secret places, especially after typhoon or heavy rain.
22年前的都兰跟现在有改变吗？
非常的改变，改变非常多。那时候这里也还很偏僻，很少人进来玩。
It was nothing actually. When I came here first time, it was a 7-Eleven, one guest house opposite to 7-Eleven. Now can you imagine this little village? We have a fire station, 2 petrol station, family mart, 7-Eleven, 4,000-5,000 people.
好水好山好无聊 about Taitung. And you'd hear that all the time back in the day. Now it's not so common to hear that phrase anymore because now the joke's on them and they're all trying to buy houses and land down here now.
How do you feel like the local population responds to the change that's happened in Dulan?
A lot of population in Dulan are like Taiwanese married to a foreigner. So they're more like open-minded, and then it doesn't really matter that much if you don't speak Mandarin.
这里的人民也开心的容纳新的种族的人，这里叫做地球村。
I don't know if people are like overtly friendly, but they're not unfriendly. They're tolerant. And and if you see the same people every day, say hello. And so like we got to know the lady at the grocery store, the people who ran the 7-Eleven.
The biggest group is still the indigenous. The locals are a little bit skeptical in the beginning. They were afraid that this is gonna be like a second thing. I do think we created a small economy also for the locals itself. At one point that had 90% Amis, indigenous working here, yeah.
What are some of the challenges that a foreigner faces living in a place like this?
Language, my Chinese is still not good. Enough for business. After they start to speak a little bit more, I go, no.
Go back to English.
Stop that.
It was hard to find a place to live. We ended up in a really old farmhouse, pretty much of a shack. We had to rip out a termite-infested floor, but it had a great view, dirt cheap.
It's really hard to rent a motorbike because I don't have international lessons. This is a problem in Taiwan. When I was in Taitung, there is no problem with rent scooter. This depends on the reglement.
那时候网络也不行，打电话也很贵，睡觉就偷偷摸摸哭。尤其这里会办婚礼，看到其他人都很开心，而我看没有人在我身边，一下台我赶快躲起来，我就先去哭。我为什么远家会担心我的生活
I'm pretty lonely in summer, man. It's no wind, it's 38 degrees. Everyone's grumpy and hot. Even though it's paradise, it still can feel a little bit claustrophobic.
The problem for us is buy the product. Fresh anchovy, like some cheeses and all that. So we need to use internet delivery. But food is like clothes. I prefer to touch it before I buy it.
They don't work like people in the city. If you're not qualified, there are maybe 5 others to replace you. He came like a European chef shouting. It works against me. Fuck you. Bye. I go somewhere, work at 7-Eleven, chill, AC, and get the same pay.
What's like the viability of making a living out here? Is it?
Oh, this is difficult.
Yeah.
People want to try, but in the end, if they cannot progress, then they go back to the city. If you can work remote, you have a few stock traders, crypto traders, one other Dutch guy, he's a gamer, I almost never seen him, unless he is by his tea, whatever. Then, of course, teaching English or a restaurant hospitality business. But I became most popular, I think. I cook everything from scratch. Chicken stock, fish stock, veggie stock. They always say, oh, you're a tourist place. I know. A lot of people come here, there's tourists, but are you saying that tourists don't have flavor standards?
Yeah, I tried to before. We were totally illegal. We bought a car, drove it, no license, no insurance. Don't know how the visa would work. I could teach English. I have degrees in the background, but I don't want to. I'm too old for that.
At the time, there were literally 2 or 3 places that employed people as English teachers. If someone had a job, there's no way in hell they're letting go of the job.
Yeah.
It's like gold. It's like finding a treasure and telling other people about. No way. It took me ages to find work here. English teaching has a shelf life. A South African buddy, Tini, wanted to do music festivals. The only thing is Tini's music sucks. He's into rave music. No offense, guys. Don't start. And that kind of scared me. And I was like, I don't know about that, dude. How about we do like a guest house or something and then occasionally do music festivals. Tini suggested, let's call the place Wakaligong because of the mates I'd met in Ilan who refused to speak Chinese and they always chatted in Taiwanese in the water, and they keep saying, "Wagaligong." I ran the water sports. He did the bar and the food, and then the second floor was a small guest house. And then occasionally we did little festivals. Punk band from Kaohsiung, they played on our roof, nearly got us kicked out of Dulan.
很多朋友还是附近的人民就叫我卖台湾的啊，还是我觉得不要啦，我卖我喜欢吃，这里因为冲浪的圣地，我大部分都外国游客来吃饭，而且他们还用越南文点餐呢。
多安斋，
多安斋，对，很好，哎，我听懂呢。
Do you find that like living in a small town like this, it's difficult to meet people with like common interests?
20年前我来杜兰的时候，我的外国朋友比较少，我的台湾朋友很多。就这样，我每天去我朋友的家喝酒、烤肉。如果你找台湾朋友，你的中文会进步。我老朋友还在啊，他们都在台东。今天你不是有看到一个吗？对，一个人来玩风帆，他是我老朋友。我们认识15年，阿嘎 ，you， 他不会说英文，所以我们见面我们讲中文。
你这么学习中文？
去学校夜间班，而且就会看字，还蛮困难，文法还是字体也不一样。
Like deeper conversation, yeah, I can understand, but I don't know how to express to them in Chinese because my husband refused to speak to me in Mandarin.
The language barrier still to easy make contact with new people is for me still a little bit difficult. There are always people who are bilingual. Still, I think my friends now are 30% foreigners maybe and 70% Taiwanese.
Talking English, you know, especially in this village, rich people have to say, it's true, who live in a mountain, who buy land here a long time ago. The kids, study in Taiwan University, English perfect. But every time I speak Chinese, my wife just start laughing, and it doesn't make me very confident.
How do you envision your life in the next 10 years? Do you feel like you're going to stay in Dulan?
Now that we have a child, I am really so grateful that he's here. When he grows older, our concern would be his education.
I'm not going to stay here until the end, but at the moment everything is school here.
No rush.
Yeah, absolutely no rush.
我有老婆，我的女儿11岁，我喜欢这边，我要住这边。这个是我的家，这是我的地，这个树都是我种的，这个桥都是我看的。我跟你讲，你跟我讲。
我跟你讲。